Hi, Gary Stearman. Time for another Prophecy in the News Daily Update. This one being made on June 15th for release on Monday, June the 18th. And Bill Salas is with us one more time, and you're really going to enjoy listening to him talk about Bible prophecy. Hi, Bill.
Hi, Gary.
Good to have you here. On our last daily update, we talked about a war coming in the Middle East, and I want to extend the conversation a little bit today and ask you a specific question. We see the Arab nations coming together. We see this roiling mass of people, the Muslim Brotherhood and various tribes and factions. And everybody is looking at that and they're saying those people are going to continue on the ascendancy until they control everything over there. So, my question to you is, do you see Arab forces rising to create another grand caliphate controlling the entire Middle East?
I don't, and there's several reasons for that in the Bible. Yes, the momentum is there, and they want to do that, and the Arab Spring seems to be unleashing that opening Pandora's box toward that end. But the problem that I see with that happening is in certain Bible prophecies involving Muslim countries. Psalm 83 and Ezekiel 38 for starters. Psalm 83 speaks about Arab countries that share common borders with Israel that are all predominantly Muslim, and that would include Egypt, the Muslim Brotherhood therein, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Hezbollah, Palestinian refugees, Hamas, Syria, Lebanon, and they're going to come against Israel, and they're going to be defeated by the Israeli Defense Forces. That's going to be, in my estimation, a punch to the gut of Islam. And then after that, you've got another coalition that comes after Psalm 83, formed by Russia in Ezekiel 38 and 39, the Gog of Magog invasion, that involves countries like Iran, Turkey, Libya, and more, that are all predominantly Muslim apart from Russia. So they are also Muslim countries, and not the Israeli Defense Forces, but God Jehovah stops that, according to Ezekiel 38, verses 16 through Ezekiel 39, verse 6. So you're going to have two major wars that come against Israel by Muslim-dominated confederacies that get stopped. And I call Ezekiel 38, when it gets destroyed, a punch to an uppercut to the jaw. Then I do believe that during the first part of the tribulation, when there's wars going on and the Antichrist is Satan's point man, that all of Islam will pretty much be knocked down for the count. I don't see Islam being the harlot of Revelation 17. I don't see Islam being, of that time, the Islam that it is today. I think it's going to be toppled off at the knees shortly. I don't see, I know a lot of people think maybe there'll be a Muslim Antichrist, and I don't want to rabbit trail off the subject, but I think for the reasons I talked about and many more that I could share with your audience, I don't think that will be the case. Islam will be compromised by that time.
Bill's book, if you don't already have your copy, and if you don't, you should get one, is called Revelation Road, and it takes a unique look at what's in our immediate future. First, in novel form, about a third of this book is a novel. And by the way, it is a good read. It flows along. It takes you sort of on the emotional level through the world as biblical events begin to unfold, and takes you right to the rapture and beyond. And then the second part of his book is a discussion. It's an exposition of Scripture showing why the events in this novel are supported in Scripture. That is to say, this theory is not just a theory, it has Scripture to back it up. The book is Revelation Road. Now, it's very popular these days, Bill, to talk about the rise of Islam globally, because we see it in every country in the world, financed by the Saudis, and mosques are being built everywhere. People are talking about the grand caliphate that's coming and so forth. And it's very popular to see the Arab states as uniting and controlling the Middle East. But you paint a very different picture, and by the way, a detailed picture in Revelation Road.
Well, it's interesting, in Zephaniah 2, verse 11, it talks about contextually with the Middle East ancient gods of Chemosh and Milcom, that were gods of Jordanians, ancient Jordanians, Moabites and Ammonites. It says after a confrontation, which I believe probably fits with Psalm 83, that the Lord will famish all the gods of the earth. And I think contextually that would probably be dealing a lot with Islam. I think that the decline of Islam is almost imminent now with Psalm 83. The Muslims are already beginning to wonder how their God Allah cannot deal with this little tiny Jewish state of Israel. How come Israel still exists? How come our God can't stop that existence of Israel? So I think that Islam is going to be a waning religion that's going to start to falter. The gods of the earth are going to be famished. We're already seeing the god of money being famished in the global economic crisis. I think you're going to start to see that with Islam as well.
Well, the Antichrist is coming, and you and I, after much conversation, agree that the Antichrist will not be unveiled until long after the rapture of the church, and that he will be a man who comes out of a consortium of power that is not Eastern, but rather Western in nature. Talk about that just a little bit.
Yes, well, I think our key passage on that is Daniel 9:27, which tells us of the origin of the Antichrist. It says, the prince that shall come, referring to the Antichrist, will come out of the people who destroyed the city and the sanctuary. The city would be Jerusalem, and the sanctuary would be the temple. That was the Roman Empire in 70 A.D. Daniel's whole emphasis was talking about when he interpreted Nebuchadnezzar's dreams and in Daniel's vision, it was dealing with the four Gentile empires, the Babylonian, the Medo-Persians, the Greek, and then of course the Roman Empire. So he was dealing with the Gentile empire, the Roman Empire. He's dealing with a revived Roman Empire. When the Roman Empire destroyed the city and sanctuary, that was in 70 AD, it was based out of Rome before the East-West split happened around 300 or so AD. So we're dealing with a Western Euro-centered, I believe, coming out of the revived Roman Empire base for the Antichrist. I do not believe he will be a Muslim for several reasons. Because if he is a Muslim, one of the arguments is he would have to be an apostate Muslim, because we're told in Daniel 11:36 that this Antichrist is going to exalt himself above all the gods. And he says he's going to deny the God of his fathers. So that would be Allah if he was a Muslim. Well, generation after generation, Muslims are taught that one of the five pillars of faith is that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. So he's going to have to step outside of that generational teaching that is deeply ingrained in Islam. This Antichrist is going to confirm a false covenant with Israel. Israel thinks by confirming a false covenant that they're going to have some form of security. No Israeli is going to presently confirm a covenant with a Muslim for their own security. That's another...
Well, let me ask you a quick question, and sorry to interrupt there, but it just came into my head. You're talking about this confirmation of the covenant. The language there in Daniel is that this Antichrist is going to strengthen the covenant. I take it with the leaders of Israel. And a lot of people have suggested that the covenant that he's strengthening might be the Abrahamic covenant. That is to make them believe that he is on their side. Yes, I remember the covenant that God made with Abraham, and yes, I'm going to honor that covenant, that you have the land in perpetuity and so forth. And so he would insinuate himself into their good graces by doing this.
Well, it could be. There's other thoughts to that, though. In Isaiah 28, verses 15 through 18, we are told specifically that it is a covenant made with death and an agreement with Sheol that Israel embraces, because they're trying to avoid what's called an overflowing scourge, whatever that would mean at the time that they embrace this covenant. The Israel that confirms, that takes this false covenant to heart and joins in with it, is a different Israel than we have today. We have to think forward geopolitically. What is that Israel like? Why would they covenant? So that's a very interesting topic. I'm actually writing about that in the trilogy. Revelation Road is just book one of a trilogy.
Okay. And but keep up the good work, by the way, and come back and see us. We've got to talk to you again on that next book.
Absolutely.
In the meantime, the book is Revelation Road by Bill Salas, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Or if you want the Revelation Road package, which includes our magazine, a year's subscription, Prophecy in the News, and a free DVD, Time Travelers of the Bible, just ask for the Revelation Road package when you call 1-800-475-1111, and you get all three for $49.95 plus shipping and handling. And that would be ordinarily about a $65 value. But if you want Bill's book, 1995, it's called Revelation Road. You've got the number on the screen right there in front of you right now. Don't hesitate to call. I guarantee you, you will thank me for having ordered this book. Bill, it's wonderful to talk to you. Wish we had more time.
Thank you, Gary, so much.
And Godspeed on your next book.
Thank you. I'm halfway done with it right now.
Great. Gary Stearman reminding you that the elements of Bible prophecy are coming together one by one by one by one. So keep looking up.